Since we got the announcement that the new FNAF movie was come out, I have been so excited. Hi, my name is Tusk, I am an amateur voice actor, and this is going to be my honest opinion of the FNAF movie. This video is going to be broken up into two sections. The very first part is going to be completely spoiler-free, and the second bit is going to be all the nitpicky details and all of the stuff that will contain spoilers. So I will be putting timestamps for when there is the non-spoiler bit and the spoiler bit. So click whichever you think is best. When I went to the theater, I went with my friend. He was Michael Afton and I was the puppet. And so, yeah, when I went, I had a great time. The theater experience was insane. I've seen a lot of people going around saying that people were screaming, "Is that the Bite of 87?" And like all of these different things. Like people were screaming, people were interrupting in the middle of the movie. Thankfully, I did not have that issue. The story follows a character named Mike. He has a little sister that he needs to be taking care of, and he's currently looking for a job so that he doesn't, hand her over to somebody else. Basically, he's got to take care of his little sister, and the only way to do that is to get a new job. So, of course, the new job is a night guard at Five Nights at Freddy's. There are lots of different cameos in this movie, some that have been announced and some that haven't. You'd have to watch it because it's really great. There are tons of references that you would recognize, and there's so many tiny details that I enjoyed that, you would only notice it if you're, a real fan. One of the issues I see people bring up is that it's not lore accurate. However, I'm really glad they didn't follow it by the book, because if they did, then it probably would be a super rushed story. There's no way you could follow the Afton family. You could not put a single story into an hour-and-a-half film that is completely accurate to the story of the Aftons. Then again, that's just my idea. Alright, on to the spoilers. So if you have not seen the movie, or you just aren't interested, just click away, because this is where the video ends for you. However, if you have seen the movie, or you don't mind spoilers, this is where it begins. I'm really glad that when William Afton was explaining the rules, it really sounded like the phone guy. There are a few bits where some people were making commentary, but it wasn't to the point that it was disruptive. With the bit where the girl gets eaten by Freddy, a bunch of people pointed and went, "Is that the Bite of 87?" People went nuts over Matt Pat. People went nuts. Absolutely bonkers. My friend and I were kicking in our seat. We got whiplash for a straight 2 minutes. I was shaking. The ending song was phenomenal. I got transported back to 2016. I tell you, bro, peak. When I went to the movie and I realized that it wasn't lore accurate, I was like, okay, sure. And like I said, I'm still very glad they didn't go along with the lore. A lot of people have said this before, and I've seen posts like this on Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that, that they weren't a fan of how William Afton just kind of popped down and went, I'm gonna kill you. But I feel like looking back on some of the details, William recognizing Michael's name, Mike Schmidt, he kidnapped the little brother. Also, I noticed how there were 5 kids, right? 5 kids in the dream sequences. But, who was the main 5th kid? My friends think that it was the cupcake, and I guess that makes sense, but, I didn't really see it. Although I guess it's the only other option they had. I think he was supposed to be Golden Freddy. Again, I don't even know if that was actually Golden Freddy, because he didn't look yellow enough I don't know. I couldn't really tell, because at first I thought it was regular Freddy that was just weirdly broken for some reason. But yeah, I think that was supposed to be Golden Freddy. Then again, I have not watched any theory videos. This is solely my opinion coming straight out of the theater. I'm still fresh out of the theater. I watched it yesterday, so I remember my friend was ranting to me about how much she hated the fact that Vanessa ended up being William's daughter, but honestly, I really liked that twist. Although I have not played Security Breach and I have not watched enough playthroughs of Security Breach to fully understand who Vanessa is. In fact, the playthrough that I watched, I hadn't even gotten to meet Vanessa yet. But from what I can tell, she's still a super vague character, and all we know is, Vanny, and that's about it. I really liked the Afton twist. It really wasn't that bad. And like I said, it wasn't supposed to be lore accurate. So the fact that she ended up being the daughter of the murderer that tried to hide all of his secrets, like, that's a good twist. I liked it. I don't really care what other people say about it. I liked that twist. I've also seen people really dislike that bit when the animatronics helped Abby build the giant fort. And, I mean, I guess it was a little childish, but listen, I've made a video about this before on TikTok, but here's the thing. William Afton didn't just take away these kids' lives, but he took away their childhood. It frustrates me how people seem to forget that these are kids in these robots. The fact that they were building a fort with Abby, and like, she saw them as her friends. These are her friends. She knows they're kids. She knows that they're kids her age, and she's just... It frustrates me that, like, there are so many details that people are so nitpicky about, but really, they're kids. Whether William was influencing them or not, just to get them close to Abby, just to, you know? Like, whether they were under his influence or not, they're still kids. They would still want to do childish things with Abby because she's a living kid that they can play with. They want to have fun. They want to get their childhood back, probably in some way, shape, or form. I really love the side plot with Mike having a kid that was killed by William Afton. But one of the issues is that if he hid all the bodies in the animatronics, where's Garrett's body? Vanessa explained that. So honestly, if I were to alter something about this movie, I really think it would be interesting if Garrett was one of the kids in the robots. Then again, that's just me. I know this is different content that I usually post, but I really thought I could get something different. And since FNAF is trending right now, why not? There are a few things that I've noticed. I've seen people assume that the animatronic that they were gonna put Abby in was Ella, which is from one of the books. I can't remember which one. I never read the books. And a lot of people were complaining about the lore and stuff like that, but I've seen some people say that the plot of this movie is pretty similar to The Silver Eyes, although I have not read The Silver Eyes, so I wouldn't know. I've also seen a few other people claim that there's going to be a sequel, although based off of how the movie left off, I really don't think we're gonna get one. Unless if it has officially been confirmed by the movie makers, but I think this was just supposed to be a gem for people that grew up with FNAF. I don't see the possibility of there ever being a sequel, but then again, that's just me. All in all, I really enjoyed this movie. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10, and I know so many people have been so nitpicky and so disappointed by this movie, but I enjoyed it. I really had so much fun watching this movie, and I feel like it doesn't deserve all the hate it's getting. It's really not. Y'all gotta remember that Scott Cawthon was working on this. He had intended for this to hopefully be lore accurate, but he realized he wouldn't be able to do that. So this was his second best shot. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really needed to get content out, so I will be giving more updates on voice acting and such, but currently, I have a cold, if you couldn't tell. Life has been very busy. Very busy. So, the reason I haven't been posting is because I'm living life. Thank you so much for all of your support and everything you guys have given me. So, I'll see y'all in the next one, or the next project, whichever one comes first.